if your thoughts were seeds? They say hearing is the last sense to go when someone's dying. Even when the body is unresponsive, the brain still listens and responds to sound. I've seen this happen so many times in my career, being a nurse for 20 years. Even at the threshold of death, we are still taking in sound. On March 27th, 2021, my father told me he was going to take his last breath, and he did. But then, 15 minutes later, he came back. Not with words, not with explanations, but with a heart that started beating again, and lungs that pulled in air for just a little longer. What I witnessed that night forever changed the way I see life, death, and the power of our thought. My mom and dad had been together for 60 years. They started dating when my mom was just 14. Their love was the steady rhythm of our family's life. That evening, when I walked into their home after my mother had called me, my dad looked at me and he said, "Baby girl, today I will take my last breath." I asked him if he was ready. He said yes, and then he called a friend to do his funeral. He got off the phone, he laid back, closed his eyes, and drifted into peace. A storm rolled across the sky that night. Rain was pouring, thunder and lightning, wind was howling. Later, when my niece arrived, he managed to sit up. He looked at her. He told her he loved her. He laid back down and took his last breath. At 11:48 on March 27th, 2021, my father was gone. His hands grew cool. My mother was at the bedside. She laid her head on his chest and wept. Through her tears, she whispered, "I can't do this without you." And then, at 12:03, 15 minutes later, his heart started back up again. His lungs filled back up. He stayed for another 15 minutes. And at 12:18 on March 28, 2021, my father took his final breath. During that time, he never spoke a word, but he was there. I believe his love for my mother is what called him back. Focused so strongly on her brought him back to life, bringing life into a body that's already gone. Science has a word for how thoughts and emotions can rewire our brains. It's called neuroplasticity. Put simply, our brains are not fixed. They are constantly rewiring themselves based on what we think, what we feel, what we focus on. Our brains recreate. Repeated thoughts physically put physical pathways into our brains. Planting what we plant in our mind can change our body. What we think, what we focus on, gratitude can lower blood pressure. Stress can raise inflammation. Our repeated thoughts change the way our body responds to the world. It changes the way our brains respond to the world. That night, My father's singular thought, his love for my mother, was enough to bring back life back into a body already gone. Not to live another day, but to give her just a little more time. Not everybody will face death this way, but we do plant seeds every day. Seeds of fear, seeds of doubt, seeds of joy, seeds of love. And what we water grows. What we focus on grows into weeds or plants. In that evening, my father's singular thought, his love for my mother, was enough to delay death itself for just a little bit more time with her. In conclusion, I believe love is stronger than death. What we focus on and what we think, the things that we plant in our mind matter. It transforms our body. It transforms our mind. The seeds we plant make a difference. So I leave you with this one question. What seeds are you planting today?